Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Patrick. Patrick's from New York. So, let's see what Patrick has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
There you go.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time for the interview on Sunday morning.
You're welcome. It's very exciting. I've never done anything like this, so I have no idea what to expect.
Great. I'm sure you're gonna have a good time. I'm sure you're gonna go on a beautiful journey in your memories in life and your point of views as well. For sure you're gonna enjoy it. Okay? Patrick, should I call you Dr. Patrick or just Patrick?
Where's Patrick?
Patrick is fine?
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick. So before we start the game, just tell me where are you from?
So I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. It's a suburb outside of like the DC area, which is in the United States. But now I live in Newark, New Jersey, which is up by New York.
Ah, okay. And in your opinion, what's the best part of living in New York?
I mean, there's always something to do. There's always things going on. It's a huge metropolitan area, but the amount of outdoor space is amazing. I don't know if you've ever looked at the map, but if you look at a map of Manhattan, Central Park takes up so much of it.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed that they kept that space away from retail developers.
And what do you do for a living?
So I work in medicine. Right now I'm doing what we call fellowship in addiction medicine. And then my primary training is in OBGYN, obstetrics and gynecology.
Oh, wow. And what's the best part of your job, in your opinion?
I think the best part of my job is seeing when the patients do well and seeing when they kind of have good outcomes. With addiction, it's not a huge percentage of patients that do well. So when you do get one who does well, it makes me happy. And in general, though, it's just nice to develop relationships with the different patients that I work with.
I see. Very good. Okay, yeah. Patrick, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey in your memories in life, in your point of views?
I'm ready.
Great, amazing. Right, so welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my lovely box, okay? Full of questions. By the way, if there is a question you don't have an answer for, you don't want to answer, always can change and pick another one, okay? It's all very friendly and chill, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question.
Why? Okay.
Let's do it. Oh, I can see that you like dancing.
No, but I do it anyway.
Right, the first question is, what do you consider most romantic?
Just in general?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's when someone finds out something about you, maybe not everyone knows, and they kind of help to use that to provide an experience. So I think it's really taking time to get to know someone and knowing kind of what makes them tick, and then using that in your communication and just planning events.
Amazing. And do you consider yourself as a romantic person?
I did. I think I still do. I think I still do.
Very good, very good. Second question. Let's do it. Right. Next question for you is, what is your favorite holiday season of the year?
Ooh, so my favorite season in general is fall. I love it when it starts to get cool. I don't do well with heat, so I like the weather a lot. I love Thanksgiving here in America. It's nice to get together with family, and everyone, at least in my family, likes to eat, so we contribute and chip in and bring lots of food, and just get to see a lot of people. Throughout like school and training and stuff, that's changed a little bit, doing it more with friends and classmates. But yeah, that's always been my favorite growing up.
And is your birthday around the fall as well, or not?
No, my birthday's in the middle of the summer.
I'm asking that because somebody told me once that you feel very connected with the season of the year when you were born. And for me, it works very well because I love the fall as well. It's my favorite season. And I was born in November. So for me, it's the perfect. It goes well.
I was born in June, and summer's probably my least favorite season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And do you have siblings as well?
I do. I have one brother who's about a year and a half younger than me. He lives out in the western part of the United States. And then I have a sister who is 9 years younger than me, and she still lives in the Baltimore area.
Oh, amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Before the next question, and what's the most challenging part of living in New York, in your opinion?
I mean, I think just getting used to being like just a small part of a huge like machine, essentially. It's almost like if you ever watch those shows on like ant farms or bee colonies, there's so many people and everyone has their own role. And that's kind of how I feel when I'm in the city.
I see. Yeah, I live in London. I've been living in London for the last 16 years, and I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes it's so many people in one place, but at the same time, you feel very lonely as well. Everyone has their own lives. Everyone has their own way of, you know what I mean, approaching life. Sometimes you can feel very lonely as well.
I think, and this might be in London as well, it can be hard for me when I'm like going about my life and doing my normal day-to-day activity, and I'm like moving fast and going. And then there's people who are there to see things and do things from out of town, and trying to kind of interact and navigate through them can be a little difficult.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, next question is, if you could ask for a miracle, what that would be?
Oh gosh, that's a lot. I feel like this is Miss America.
Don't forget to wave in the end like this, okay?
I mean, it's kind of broad, but I mean, I think if I could ask for a miracle just to end suffering, it's just it's so prevalent around the world, and it's in every country, every community, and it takes so many different forms. So I'm trying to cover everything. So I think if we get rid of suffering, that's probably going to cover a lot.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree. And the Miss America goes to Patrick from New York. Next question. Let's do it. All right. Next question for you is, what makes you really angry?
What makes me really angry? I think right now what's making me really angry is the amount of misinformation and what we call disinformation available, and the amount of people who have kind of played into it. It just, at least here in the United States, and I don't know to what extent you experience there, there's so much false information on the internet, on news, and some of it's just so crazy, but people believe it.
That's the point. That's
to the point where some people are living in another reality with another set of facts. And I think it makes coming together and kind of coming to agreements very difficult, because if you're not working from the same origin of facts and reality, to even come to an agreement on anything that's controversial is almost impossible.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to fix it.
No, I totally understand, Jeremy. I was watching the other day a program saying about fake news. My God, it can go so fast, and people can get really, as you said, believe into it, and they can get into it. And one point can be a big mess until you kind of clear it up. Is already a lot of damage done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's. I think people, to do something like that, you need to be very. You need to have stomach. You need to be really. You know what I mean? Like. To do something like that, to create something like that.
And I mean, I don't think it's new, but I think the internet has allowed things to move faster, ideas and education and whatnot, but it's also allowed fake news, whatever you want to call it, disinformation, it's allowed it to be spread at a greater rate. And I don't think people think before they share things. I don't think people fact check before they share things. They see it, it fits their worldview, and they hit retweet or share or whatever you're on, whatever social media. And then people keep reading and getting their news from unreliable sources, and it makes it hard to communicate with each other.
And can affect a lot of people's lives as well. You know what I mean?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Next question, Patrick. Let's do it. And before the next question, and what's the most challenging part of your job, in your opinion?
I think the most challenging part of my job right now is realizing that, like, some people aren't ready for help, and just kind of doing whatever you can to make their current situation best is important, and not trying to just get everyone to the same point. And it's difficult because a lot of people, they need help for things, they need to take medications, and they're just, for lots of different reasons, they're not ready. So you just need to figure out what the best thing you can do for them right now.
I'll see. Okay, next question for you is, if you could have tea with a fictional character, who that would be and why?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of some of my favorite books. So I love Harry Potter. I'm like a little child. If I could have tea with anyone, I think it would be Dumbledore from Harry Potter.
Why?
I mean, I really admire his intelligence and his brilliance, but there's kind of some backstory about a lot of like emotional trauma and family trauma he dealt with. And I just want to know more about like his relationships and how he got to where he was. I think it's interesting learning about how people who we consider great got to that point.
I see. Very good, very good. Have you watched all the movies?
Yeah, many times. Many times.
Very interesting. Next question. Right, next question for you, Patrick, is, when was the last time that you cried and why?
Ooh. I don't cry as much. Like, I used to be a lot more emotional as I was younger. And I think my works made me cry less just because you see a lot of sad things. The last time I cried a lot was a little over a year ago. One of our Supreme Court justices died, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And it was something that we knew was going to happen, but she was such an inspiration and such an amazing figure in American law and just in America in general. She became almost like a pop icon. And the work that she did for like gender equality, for women's health access, was very important to me. So when she died, I'm getting chills now. I just remember on and off for days crying.
Yeah, I think those big people who leaves like big impacts, not just in ourselves, but the whole world, you know what I mean? It's always something that gets us emotional, for sure. Sure, I think it's difficult to let it go, those people who made a difference in our daily base, in our world general, you know what I mean? Yeah. Next question?
Okay.
Let's do it. What are you drinking, by the way?
I am drinking Diet Mountain Dew. I drink too much diet soda, but I'm staying with family and that's what they have in the fridge.
Good, very good. Next question is, what's the best advice have you ever given?
That I've given? Ooh.
Yeah.
I think trust your gut, trust kind of your instinct. Because a lot of times I think that first thought can be right about situations, and it's important to go with it and not lose confidence in yourself and your own intuition.
I think our intuition is so strong, isn't it? It's very strong. If you follow your intuition, you can go very far.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and there's been times where I've questioned it, and it wasn't right. Like in the end, it was, my first thought was correct, and I shouldn't have kept going.
Sometimes we know, sometimes it's so strong that we know that we're not doing the right thing or not going the right direction, but we still do it. We still stir, but we go with it. And after you go like, I knew it. I knew that wasn't the right thing to do or to follow or whatever.
Yeah.
Work in progress, you know what I mean? The older we get, we learn more and more, and we start to trust more in our intuition for sure.
Yeah.
Patrick, are you enjoying the show so far?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, great. So let's get another question for you.
Yeah.
Before the next question, when you think about Baltimore in Maryland, what's the best memory comes to your mind or to your heart, and why New York? Why the change?
I mean, memories of Baltimore. I mean, a lot of memories of Baltimore are more like about my family, and like just really big events. Big Christmas is always a big thing. I remember going from like one side of the family to the other. So those are probably some of the big memories. Most of my moves have been work related, so it was because of work. I like the area. I don't know if I love it. I don't love how expensive it is. But yeah, it was just work related. And my next move will probably be work related as well. Okay,
all right. Next question is, what 3 things are you most grateful for?
I mean, one thing, so I'm in recovery from drug addiction and kind of finally getting that. And getting over a lot of the denial and whatnot, that's huge for me, because it's allowed me to kind of continue a life that I can feel proud of. My family is big. I definitely feel grateful for them. And I think educational opportunities that I've been afforded, I had to be grateful for them, because not everyone gets them, and I've been happy with what I've been afforded as far as education.
Very good, very good. It's very sweet that you know that, and you are grateful for that. You recognize that. That's sweet. Ready for another one?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Next question, Patrick. Who would you swap lives with for a day if you could?
Kim Petras.
Why?
I mean, I have no idea what it's like to feel like the transgender experience. I think that's really interesting. But she just seems to like be so fun, and like I would say someone who's just like fun and carefree, like who is that girl, Paris Hilton, but there's more to it, I think, with Kim Petras.
All right.
There's a lot of complexity, and there's things that I'm never gonna feel it, that I would be able to experience for a day in her shoes.
Very good, very good. I love the answer. Amazing. Next question. Okay, Patrick, before the next question, I believe you are gay, yeah?
I am.
And are you out? It's okay to talk about?
I am. Yes.
Yeah?
I'm
perfect.
Totally out to everyone.
Very good. So, did you always have the support of your family being gay?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, they had to process it on their own. But yeah, I've been very fortunate. I think the most challenging thing I had was when I didn't come out to tell my family. My mom told people, which is a whole nother story. But my 80-some-year-old grandmother said she loved me, but she's not going to march in any parades. And I'm like, you're not marching anywhere, so it's okay. Thank you.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But overall, they always have support, always being very sportive, being gay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Right. Next question is: if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
Ooh, this question is, I should know this because I'm sure I've been asked before. I'm going to mispronounce the name because I don't do well with foreign names, but Marie Curie, French scientist Marie Curie. I can't imagine being a female scientist at that time at such a level that she was, and just her determination and whatnot, and her resilience is amazing. So probably her.
Very good. Very good. Next question.
Yeah.
Good moves. You got good moves.
Oof.
Tell me a little bit about your tattoos. I can see that you have some tattoos. Tell me a little bit about it.
I have one which is an octopus. So growing up in Baltimore, we have the National Aquarium, and they always had this huge tank with a giant Pacific. I think it was a giant Pacific octopus that I always loved going to see. And they're just very mysterious, very intelligent, which is kind of against what we think of like lower animals. So I got that. Here is, I don't know if you can see it, it's a dinosaur. It's a I don't know.
Oh yeah, oh my God, beautiful, amazing tattoo.
Yeah, so that's a Triceratops. I love dinosaurs. And in DC, we have the National Mall where all the Smithsonian museums are. And there used to be a giant Triceratops statue that I had memories of climbing on with me and my brother. It's now at the National Zoo. Apparently it was based on a book. But it's always been my favorite dinosaur, so I went with that next.
Wow, how old were you when you had the first tattoo?
I have one on my back, which is not that exciting. I was 22.
Huh?
But the other ones are more recent, like 2 and 3 years old.
I see. Okay, next question for you is, what is the funniest gift have you ever received?
So I was like, think through things that, I think I was like 12 or 13. And we had gotten a puppy. I had organized it all. I'm one of those people, like at Christmas time, I was always picking out and planning my own gifts, and then my parents would just buy them. So I had contacted the breeder and set everything up. That was probably my favorite.
Oh.
She was one of our, we had her for like 13 years or so. So that was probably my favorite gift ever.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Next question. Let's do it, Patrick. Yeah. Next question for you is, tell us about your first kiss and your first love.
Ooh. I honestly don't remember the first person I kissed. It's bad. I mean, like, I didn't really experiment with men until I was after high school. I do remember the first person I tried to have sex with, and it was not good. Like, he was fine. He was not unattractive. I don't think either of us really knew what we were doing. We tried to use aloe as lube. It didn't work. I was like, nope, we're not doing this. So that's, yeah. My first love was my first partner. I met him when I was 20. We met at Mid-Atlantic Leather, which is down in DC, at this dance they have. He was like 46 at the time.
Wow.
I ended up staying together for about 4 years. And we broke up for different reasons, but he's still in my life. I still talk to him.
That's amazing.
So it's nice. Yeah, it's interesting though. Now I feel like it's weird. I feel like now I'm more ready, but it just, time happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's going to be very happy to see this interview that you consider him the first one. For sure, for sure. Okay, Patrick, I've got 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Trying to think something really romantic that someone's done for me. I mean, it was probably with my first partner, and it's not even something that's a lot, but like taking the time to plan a meal and whatnot, that's a big deal to me. I can't think of any like giant romantic gestures. I don't know. Not sure.
I think sometimes those really like simple as a, you know what I mean, a meal. Those, it can be very romantic. You know what I mean? It's just, like this touch not expecting. I think that can be very romantic for sure. Because when you think about romantic, people are expecting like big flowers or big, you know what I mean, big presents. Yeah. It's not about that. It's about the gesture itself. And when touches, or somehow we get touched, that's what counts. 2 questions left. Ooh. Right, before the next question, let's say somebody come to New York for the very first time. What would be the first place you think, okay, this person should go to this place for the very first time who arrive in New York? Where would be and why?
First time you're in New York? I think it'd be Central Park. And there's just so many different areas and amazing different places, and it's kind of, you can get lost for the day. And it's like, I still find new little alcoves and new little like buildings there and like tunnels and stuff like that. So I just think it's a really cool place to explore. I mean, there's museums. Oh, one place to try that I loved, someone took me there a long time ago, it's called the Cloisters. It's in like northern part of the city, like up by past Harlem. And they basically brought over like full-size pieces from monasteries.
Oh, wow.
And it's a museum/garden that you walk through, and it's so peaceful, and just incredible to think that they brought like all of this over here from different parts of Europe.
Oh, amazing. Okay, next question for you. Next question for you is, describe yourself in 3 words.
Resilient, thoughtful, and I'm a homebody. I like being at home a lot.
Very good. And if I would ask a negative word, what that would be?
A negative one. Trying to think how to put it. Impatient.
Interesting.
Definitely impatient, which is not. I've chosen things in my life that require patience, and it's tough.
Okay, Patrick, ready for the last one?
Yes.
Let's do it. I love your dance moves. I can see you dance the dance floor like the one who got attention.
Oh my.
Right, before the last question, when you look back a year ago when the world went upside down regarding the COVID situation, when you look back, what's the most positive thing you took out of it?
I think the most positive thing is just learning to use my time for me, I think. I mean, because you for a portion of time, there wasn't a lot to do. I mean, fortunate or not, however you want to say it, I went to work every day. Like, I didn't work from home, but on nights and weekends, it's not like I could do much of anything. So I did a lot of things for me. I did a lot of exercise at home. And I think that was really important, was kind of making time for oneself instead of just going and going and going, because I can have a tendency to do that.
I see. Okay. Right. Last question is, where do you want to be in 10 years time from now?
In 10 years time, I mean, where is an interesting question. I mean, I honestly don't know what area I'll be next year versus 10 years. I want to be more settled. I've done a lot of moving for work, for other things, and I kind of want to have like my home situated, just have my people, whether it's a partner or a series of friends, kind of more cemented. I'm hoping to be more advanced in my career too. Normal stuff. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. You just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with life.
Lesson.
Love.
Lost.
Money.
Power.
Family.
Love.
Sex.
Sex.
Yeah.
Lust.
Politics.
Divisive.
Religion.
Divisive.
How about fear?
Paralyzing.
Friendship.
Essential.
Regrets.
Unavoidable.
Desire.
Love.
Success.
Work.
Happiness.
Freedom.
How about wish?
Future.
One word for Baltimore.
Crabs.
How about New York? One word.
Garbage. There's just a smell. There's a smell all the time.
I was expecting that. Funny. How about the last one? How about USA? One word.
Hope.
Good one. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friends. Tell me the most beautiful thing about Patrick, and tell me something that he still needs to improve on. What do you think your best friend will tell me?
Kindness and confidence. Good kindness and confidence to be improved.
And what's so kindness, the positive thing?
Yep.
And the confidence to be improved?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, I think there's just been a lot of ups and downs that I've had for various different reasons. And there's things that I value, and I didn't really have those things. I didn't achieve those things yet. And I think as I've started to kind of get to certain places where I'm at, confidence definitely improves. But I think it's still a process.
And I think it's going well because you come across a very confident person, actually. You come across a very...
Okay.
Good one, very good. Right, let's play now Patrick and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time.
Okay.
I like you dancing because just follow your move. The way you do it, just follow it.
So this is more about your show, which when you first sent me a message, I'm like, what is this? Because you get so many weird things. I get so many weird texts. Anyway, where's the weirdest place someone has done your calls from?
Wow, the weirdest place. Very, very interesting question. I like that. The most weirdest. You put me in the spot now, Patrick. Right. The first thing, genuinely, the first thing came to my mind. It was a very lovely guy from Asia. He was in a country in Asia. I don't remember where the place was now. And he was literally in the middle of the street. And because he didn't have Wi-Fi. So he was in the middle of the street. Yeah, he was in the middle. I think because he wanted so badly to do the interview. But I don't think he had Wi-Fi at his place. So I remember I was talking to him and people was passing by in the street, like dogs and everything. And I was like, I couldn't concentrate in the interview because I want to make sure that he was like, you know what I mean, enjoying himself. Mm-hmm. But I love the you know what I mean, the way, because he wanted to do it and he put it out. It's okay, let's do it. But he was in the middle of the street, like it was nighttime as well. It was like the nighttime, and it was a very. It was like in a big city. It was a very small town. So like, the middle of the conversation, I could see somebody passing by bicycle or walking with a dog or something, and I just felt quite sweet because, you know, he wanted to do it, and he found a way. But so yeah, this was the first thing that came to my mind, and I've done already, like, you know what I mean. I'm gonna reach now next weekend 400 people in the show, so. Wow! Yeah, it's been like a beautiful journey. Like since I started last year, I just hit 1 year like last weekend. So it's been a blast. But yeah, the first thing that came to my mind. But I've been doing interviews with people like so many places around the world. Sometimes they, you know what I mean, they are in their bedroom or in their living room or in their office or in their workplace. But I think that was the most like came to my mind was this interview with this lovely guy. He was in the middle of the street and he was wearing a mask as well. I remember he was a mask as well. So I was like, oh my God, it made my day. It just made me made my day that day. Yeah. Did you have a good time?
I did. It was very fun.
Thank you. Thanks so much for taking the time, for trust as well. I like when I approach you and said, you know what, I never done that before, but I will take the chance. I will get out of my comfort zone. I think that's sometimes when you go out of your comfort zone, you can find so beautiful things out there. You know what I mean? It's interesting things as well. You never know. So sometimes just give a chance, get it go. So you never know what can happen. Mm-hmm. But before you go, I'd like you to share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires your life.
And I pulled this up. It goes back to the woman I spoke about earlier, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was one of our Supreme Court justices. And I think this is really important right now when we're so divided. She said, fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. So I think it's important to like have passion, but also to be able to relate that passion, have other people be able to understand why and why what you're fighting for is important for everyone.
Yeah, very good. I like the message. Very good. Patrick, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much for your interview. Thanks for being part of the show as well.
Amazing. Thank you. This was fun.
Thanks so much. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.